You wanna know what's so beautiful and so tragic at the same time? Hi, it's Scandocious JR, and I'm here with the questions that I should have answered a while ago. I do apologize. So, your questions, my answers. I'm gonna sit it right here. Alright. Have you ever hooked up with fans? The answer is yes, I have. More so during the Are You the Boy phase. I can remember one or two, but I'm sure probably prior, definitely not after. I stopped having sex after that. I don't have one now, as at the moment. I am currently studying different West African belief systems prior to colonization. So that's where my mind is these days. Post editing me is here, and I think I should have told a little bit more about these questions, or my answers. I should have answered better is what I'm basically trying to say. And since I should have answered better, I'll say this. How is your birth mother and brother? I don't know. Instead of giving all that explanation on the other one, I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I haven't spoken to them in years. I've reached out. Good luck to them though. I hope life is beautiful wherever they are. I mean, well, yeah, people wanted to fight, but I always fought back. So, if anything, I was always seen as the bully, though I was only fighting back. I'm not the one to draw the sword first. But, you know, no one likes the new kid. So I was always the new kid. Before I graduated high school, I went to 9 different schools. Grade school, most of them grade schools. I went to 2 different high schools. Either way, I went to too many damn schools before I graduated high school. Over the years, you hear about footage left on the cutting room floor, songs unreleased, etc. What did you leave out of your work? I'm sure I left a lot out. I mean, there's a lot of songs that were written that were never released. There are a lot of songs that were unreleased. There are a lot of videos that I never released. There are You the Boy episodes that I never released. There are dates that I recorded that I never released. Over the years, I've heard rumors about you. Do you wish to address those? I really shouldn't. But, okay, no. There's one rumor that has really impacted my life, and I must say to the person who spreaded it, because I finally this rumor has been going on for more than 13 years now, and it has impacted my dating life. This person who spreaded that rumor, I realized in 2020, because for some reason it never connected to me until then. Edwin Irvin. Let me explain. As a matter of fact, no. I'm going to talk directly to him. Also, in addition to those rumors, I must say that your fan base, I don't know what the hell you do to have a fan base, but your little friends or fans or whoever they are reach out to me at least 3 times, about 3 times a year, telling me that I was such a horrible person to hurt precious little Edwin. But my thing is, did you tell them the whole story? Did you tell them how on our first week of being in a relationship that you cheated and you went missing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, came home late on a Monday? Did you tell them that? First week of us dating. We didn't argue, we didn't have any fights, we were actually getting along, okay? Did you tell your friends that I always caught you in Jackson Park? Not when you were working it. No, you didn't tell your fans that? Okay. Okay, as far as the rumor is concerned, did you tell them that the rumor of me kicking a boy out of a car with 2 lesbians in the back seat, what was it? Apparently, I wanted sex from my boy, this dude, this stranger in the car, and he said no. So I kicked him out the car and left him in some random place. Did you tell them that was you? And did you tell them that it wasn't sex that I wanted? And that I wanted you to tell me the truth about you having threesomes and orgies? And here's the thing, I don't think anything's wrong with threesomes and orgies. This started with us sitting at home on the bed watching television, and I just asked him one day, have you ever had a threesome? He said no. I said, oh well, I always wanted to have a threesome. If you've ever seen an interview where someone has asked me that, I have always said I always had a fantasy of having a threesome. I don't see anything wrong with it. I've always I don't know what it feels like. I tried it once, it didn't work. It was a failed threesome. The other two was doing it, I just watched. But I was talking to my boyfriend. He lied a lot to me, by the way. A lot. Anyway, moving forward, when we go to Jackson Park together, he took me for the first time. I sat there and I met a lot of the people that were sitting in the parking lot, right? As he walks away to talk to someone, a group of guys walked up to me and started just running down his body list and talking about all the orgies and threesomes that he's been in. Now, mind you, I had asked him maybe 2 months prior to this, had you ever done a threesome? It's not a big deal if you've done a threesome. But he lied. So I didn't say anything for the remainder of the time we were in Jackson Park. I just pretended like that did not happen. Then when we get in the car, it's nighttime. Then I ask him. And there were 2 lesbians in the car, Daiquiri and Melanie. I said, so I was told that you actually did have a threesome and some orgies. Is that true? You want to tell your fans what you did? You cried. What are you crying for? And it means sobbing. I don't understand what you were crying for. And I said that. And you know what you did? You jumped out the car. I didn't kick you out. Why would I kick you out? We're going to the same place. I didn't kick you out. I didn't even kick you out the house. It wasn't my house. So yeah, I just think it's interesting that that story's making the rounds and people are afraid to get in cars with me because of your lie. Tell your fans the truth. Are you telling them that I cheated on you? I did, yeah. But are you telling them that I told you to your face that I would do so? After I tried to defend you from people mistreating you, and you snapped at me, and you would do that often. You are actually quite mean. Oh, frail, good guy Edwin was actually very mean. And I have to say this outside of this rumor to anyone in a relationship. And I'm not making myself the victim. That's not at all. I know I've played into it. And I have to say, this is what I'm getting to say, that anytime you're in a bad relationship with someone, and even though this was only 6 months, and all you getting is this here, being cheated on, being lied to, and all this other stuff, it's best to let go and move on. Also, you need therapy because there's something about you that is drawing that type of person to you. There's no reason for that to happen unless it's in you. So I'm blaming myself. I should have never dated this person. Especially since now, 20-something years later, you're still sending motherfuckers after me? Yeah. And that rumor is still out here lying about me? Yeah. Well, I hope people see this because that's the truth. And I hope your little fan base turns around and looks at you and you give them the truth. Don't forget, I still have a lot of video. I've always been recording. You know that. So there's a rumor that I needed to address. I'm sorry that took a long time. My songwriting process is, it's not one thing. So what I do is, for the most part, a lot of stuff comes from my dreams. Like I'll dream and a song will be playing, and if I'm lucky, I get to write the whole thing down. Like I'll remember every detail of the song. That's happened a few times. That doesn't happen very often. What does happen often is I'll get a title, or I'll get like a melody, or I'll get like the sound of a beat. By the way, The Menace You Cause is a title from a dream. Back in the day, I made a song called Dreamin'. That was the song. That was one of the songs that I wrote all the way through from having a dream. This is back when I was homeless and I was living in a friend's house. It was a female, and the song was about dreaming about the perfect man. Still haven't met him, but anyway, a lot of introspection, a lot of working on me, a lot of I tried marijuana officially for the first time. You know how, hey, baby, y'all, and then I'd be like, that doesn't, yeah. So edibles work for me, and that really aided in the introspection. Seeing that I had a lot of negativity around me that I needed to clear out, and all of it's clear, and I feel so much better. It's wild when you remove things that aren't for you that you always thought was. So, you know, and also I'm a homebody. I really don't like going out. So them telling us to stay in the house only really helped me. That just made me feel more comfortable. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. Unfortunately, I have problematic neighbors, but hopefully that's going to change soon. As a black man, I think about death. Thank you, Puss in Boots. You made that worse. No, I was just playing. As a gay man, no. I mean, I get attacked a lot by black women verbally online as a gay dude. I think a lot of that has to do with what's wrong with them, not me. It's a lot of projecting, you know. I don't really take it offensively. And then some of them be trying to psychoanalyze me because I'm homosexual. Yeah, so it's a lot of, you know, messed up stuff with them that they need to work out. This seems to piss off a lot of people of other colors for some just existing. And that's really strange that people are so concerned about other people so much. Moving on, when I was 12, 13, going to my grandmother's house with my parents, with the people who adopted me, a car crashed into us by a bunch of teenagers. And it was not a normal crash. This was very hard. I got pains in my left knee, my neck, and my back. And they never took me to the hospital. They didn't go to the hospital themselves. Maybe they felt like they couldn't afford it. I don't know. But unfortunately, not taking me to the hospital, those things kept getting worse. And unfortunately, directly after being a teenager, I was kicked out of my home for being homosexual. And I'm sorry, if I'm homeless, the last thing I'm thinking about is going to a hospital. As a kid, that was on them. As an adult, it's on me. Now I am working on it, trying to get it to get better, stretching, exercising, hoping that will work. So far it hasn't. If you've ever seen me dance in a video, probably, I was probably a little, not necessarily stiff, maybe I was stiff. Or for me it was I'm being apprehensive because I'm scared of tearing and I'm scared of pissing this thing off. So yeah, a lot of that is what's happening. And I get a lot of people telling me in conversations that, yeah, you dance, right. And it's really because of that. But I'm trying to do the best I can. If you've seen videos of me in my underwear, you should be able to see it's in my left knee. Especially if I like bend my knee, maybe you need to see it from the side. But yeah, it's like my knee and then there's a poke out right there. I think when you start going back to infancy to find issues. Like, why are you all trekking all the way back to I don't know, when a person is 6 months old? Oh, see, you did this. Like, I'm confused about that part. And I'm not talking about just one person. This has happened more than once. You blaming children behavior for a grown man now or a grown woman now. Like, I just watched a video of a guy talking about, oh, this woman got her face changed, but now look at her, and your husband loved you for who you was back then. Did he? You don't know what happened on the inside there. Like, I don't get, anyway. And social media outrage, and in terms of that, my question is always, who's making the money? Who's profiting off of your social media outrage? You don't think these singers and rappers aren't making money off of your social outrage? all you hear is that I'm mean and cruel. Are you listening to the rumors? You might be listening to the rumors. But I must say, it's interesting how rumors start when you end dating with somebody, and then okay, so like for instance, I had this song called 0, 50, 100, and I have dated some zeros in visuals. And it's interesting when you date a 0 and you end it with the 0, and then you jump to a 100, how mad the 0 gets. Don't lie. I see women say that all the time. Oh, he got with this pretty girl after me. What that say about me? What does it say about you? Maybe that's what you're hearing. 0's upset. I know what they're trying to say, but let's just say this. I'm not talking about that. No, that was more than 10 years ago. And it doesn't need any more light or any more breath breathed into that. So I wish him well, and we'll leave it at that. I don't hate any questions. I'm actually grateful people even want to ask me anything. As I said in the last thing, I'm known as the person who always talks to the people who send some messages. I try my best to get back to everybody. The problem is some people I can't respond to because you're sending me. It's different. It's kind of hard when you say blank me, let me blank you, I love you. In one way I like it, but in the other one I can't. And then I want to be your friend, let me get to know you. And this is all in a 30-minute period. I know what that is, and I empathize with you. And I'll tell you what I did. I got therapy because I know where that's coming from. As a person who also, I love myself now, but growing up with a hole in here, it's not something you want to take lightly. So I would suggest therapy, and extensive therapy, because I have been that, and that's not. And especially if this is how you are trying to date, that's not gonna work. So, and this is love talking to you. But I don't hate any questions. I'm lucky people who even ask me questions. I'm not even a celebrity or anything, but I'm happy people feel comfortable wanting to talk to me. Are You the Boy returning? No. I wish I could redo it so that it could be in 4K, the current quality, but the only way that I feel like I would probably do Are You the Boy is if I move to a booming state where I can do that, and or when or if I move, it really should be when I move out of the country into a new country and then date there. So we'll see, but for where I am now, no. Probably because it's my fault. I mean, I only draw in what I am, at least back then. I stopped dating in 2010. 2010 was the last time I've been on a date, because I knew I needed to fix me. I knew it was me. It had to be me and what I'm attracting. I did cheat on one person. I cheated on Edwin, the guy I mentioned earlier. But I walked up to him and said, I'm going to cheat on you because he wasn't a nice person to me. Was that right? No, of course not. And I had a couple of therapists at one time because I just knew this needed to be fixed, especially from where it came from. And what I kept surrounding myself with. And when I say that, I mean my friends. Sometimes you gotta be careful because you might get rid of the main problem, but you gotta remember, if you've had a main problem, your main problem gets in here, and you will surround yourself with more just like your main problem. So even if you get rid of your main problem, these are still here. Watch what you have in front of you. Some might be great, but not all. And if it is all, you gotta get that junk out of here, because when you start to grow, they're gonna keep trying to pull you back. You don't want that. You don't want to be able to, you want to be able to talk to your friends and tell them, this, that, and the other happened. But you don't want your business out in the street, and then when I meet somebody new, they regurgitate my life back to me. But you only told your friend. Right? Same thing with a boyfriend. You don't want that. So, but again, that person's in your life because that's who you drew. So it was my fault. Nobody else's. And I had to fix that. So that's what I did. I like laser tag. I like golf. I like miniature, not real hardcore golf. I ain't that dope. I ain't dope at all in golf, let me tell you. But it's fun, you know. Animals. Yeah, so those are the type of things that I get into.